Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Exams are reaching. So, today we will have a special video to discuss the important questions or topics of MPC 1 Cognitive Psychology, Learning and Memory. I have also provided short answers for your reference for the important questions. Now, let's move to block 1. In this block, we needed to cover 3 units. Unit 1, Domains of Cognitive Psychology. This question can be asked as a 10-mark question or 6-mark question. Unit 2, Learning and Memory, Information Processing in Learning and Memory, Theories of Information Processing. Except theories of information processing, rest all questions can be expected as 6-mark questions. This theories of information can come as a 10-mark question or a 6-mark question. From Unit 4, Vaughan-Normand's model of primary and secondary memory and Atkinson and Shiffrin's the stage model. These 2 questions will also come as a 6-mark question. Now let's move into the short answers. For domains of cognitive psychology, this symbol diagram will explains or will give you an idea of what all are the domains, and you can just briefly explain about each of these domains. Now, learning and memory. In learning and memory, sensory memory, then short-term memory and long-term memory come into existence. So in this, with this diagram, it is easily understandable what all are these 3 memories, and you can just explain them in detail. Information processing in learning and memory, we have 3 stages: encoding, storage and retrieval, and you can explain these 3 in detail for the 6-mark question. For theories of information processing, we have 2 theories. One is Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive domain, and another one is Sternberg's information processing. So for Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive domain, we have 6 levels, that is coming from bottom to top: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating and creating. Just a brief description is given in the sides, but you can elaborate these things with some examples as well. For Sternberg's information processing approach, we have 3 categories: meta components, performance components, knowledge acquisition components. So these 3 components work together to facilitate learning and cognitive development. Now moving on to the 4th unit, Vaughan-Normand's model of primary and secondary memory. So in this unit, we have some explanations about what is a primary memory, what is secondary memory and all. That question can come as a 3-mark question as well. Apart from that, you needed to explain this diagram in detail. Last from this block, Atkinson and Shiffrin's the stage model. So in stage model also we are explaining about what is sensory memory, short-term memory and long-term memory, but the different ways or the process that flows here varies slightly, and you needed to explain that in detail with this diagram. Now let's move on to block 2. From block 2 we needed to cover 4 units. From the first unit, Spearman's 2-factor theory of intelligence. This question can come as a 6-mark question. At the same time, it may come as a 3-mark question as well. From unit 2, Sternberg's triarchic theory of intelligence. This is a 10-mark question. Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. This can come as a 6-mark question. And from unit 3, general factor theories and multi-factor theories. These two combined together will come as a 10-mark question. And from multi-factor theories, we can expect a 1 or 2 6-mark question as well for explaining any one of the theory. And contribution of Alfred Binet, which is again a 6-mark question. The unit 4 of this block is very important. You needed to go through each and every topic in this unit under creativity as well as problem solving. Now I am showing you a diagram of Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. So in this one we can see there are different categories inside the multiple intelligence, and the circled ones, that is logical, mathematical, bodily kinetics and existential, are the important ones that are repeatedly asked in exams. This can also come as a 3-mark question. Next, Sternberg's triarchic theory of intelligence. This contains 3 sections initially, which is componential, experiential and contextual. And under each of these, we have different other categories. Inside componential, we have meta component, performance components and acquisition components. This is already explained in unit 1. Now, in experiential or creative section, we have novelty problems as well as automation. And in practical or contextual, we have adaptation, shaping and selection. Now, moving on to the investment and confluence theory of creativity. This is from the unit 4. As I already mentioned, this unit is very important. So the investment and confluence theory of creativity gives you different fields or different areas of creativity, like motivation, which can be intrinsic or extrinsic, then knowledge, thinking styles, intellectual skills, personality and context. So context means environments. So you can explain in detail with some examples for these areas. Next is aspects of creativity. So we have 6 aspects: fluency, flexibility, originality, elaboration, abstractness of titles and resistance to premature closure. Next, stages of creativity. We have 4 stages for creativity: preparation, incubation, illumination and verification. So just an idea of those stages are given in the slide itself. Rest you can explain. Next, measurement of creativity. So measuring creativity also, we have 4 factors based upon the Torrance test of creativity thinking, which is one of the technique that is mostly used everywhere from 1960s. So they are fluency, flexibility, originality and elaboration. These are also mentioned in the aspects of creativity. Now going into the other section, which is the problem solving. First is about different kinds of problems or types of problems. So basically we have 2 types. One is well structured problems and the other one is ill structured problems. Next, stages of problem solving. First is understanding the problem, then planning how to solve the problem, then with that plan we will solve the problem, and check your work. Check your work means once the problem is solved, we will look into how effective it was and all. So some simple example or simple explanation based upon the real-time scenario has been provided in the slide. Now moving on to the problem solving strategies. we have two strategies. One is heuristic approach and the other is algorithmic approach. So with these two approaches we will be solving the problems, and the detail or a brief explanation is given in the slide, and you can elaborate this as well. Next, factors affecting problem solving. So different factors like mental sets, insight, incubation, functional fixedness, etc. So these questions or these answers like functional fixedness can also be asked as a 3-mark question. So just have a heads up on all these aspects in detail. With this, block 2 concludes. Now moving on to block 3. Here also we needed to look into 4 units. The first unit, stages of language acquisition, which is for 6 mark. Behavioristic theory and innateness theory, which is for 10 marks. In the entire theories we needed to basically look into these theories only. From unit 2, Kinst model of comprehension, which is for 6 mark. Unit 3, benefits of multilingualism, which is a general question and there is no explanation needed for this question. This is for a 6-mark question. And unit 4, we have speech disorders as well as language disorders. So from speech disorders we needed to look into speech sound disorder and dysarthria. This can be expected, this question can be expected as a 10-mark question, 6-mark question as well as 3-mark question. And this is one of the important topic of this unit. Next is language disorders. Inside the language disorders, we can expect questions from Alzheimer's disease and aphasia. These can be 6-mark questions. Now, looking into the answer, stages of language acquisition. This is based upon the children, how the child acquires a language from the time of birth. So the first phase is babbling, second one word, then 2 word, early multi-word and later multi-word. These are the explanation for that. Next, from all the theories we needed to look into behavioristic theory versus innateness theory. So this is also based upon how the child's perspective on this theory. So a brief explanation or brief differences of these theories has been provided here. Now in speech sound disorder we have 2 types. One is articulation, which requires some speech corrections, and the next one is phonological. Explanation is given in the textbook itself, so I'm not going detail into these disorders, that is language disorder or speech disorder, because it is clearly mentioned in the textbook itself. Now moving on to block 4. Here also we needed to look into 4 units. From the unit 1 we needed to look into types of problems, which is a 6-mark question. From unit 2 all the questions are 6 marks, but you can expect them as a 3-mark as well. So they are strategies for problem solving, some specific techniques of problem solving, creativity and problem solving, artificial intelligence in problem solving. Now from unit 3, Newell's approach, which is a 10-mark question. And from unit 4, emotional blocks, intellectual blocks and cultural blocks. We needed to look into these 3 blocks only, because these are the repeated questions. This can come as 6 mark, at the same time can come as 3 marks. So the types of problems is already explained earlier, that is well defined problems and ill defined problems. Next is the strategies of or some specific techniques of problem solving. So there are many techniques explained in the textbook. Apart from the five mentioned here, there are many, around 6 to 7 extra has been given in the textbook, which is very simple to understand. These are given as little explained, so I am giving a single line explanation of each of these things in the slide. Next is about the different blocks. Emotional block, what is it? Intellectual block and cultural block. So emotional block is something that is stopping us from solving that problem accurately. Next is intellectual block. It is because we don't have that necessary skills or knowledge to solve the problem. And cultural block, it is because of the workplace culture, ethics, the cultural bias, the culture that we ourselves expect to have. All these things also stops us from doing some particular task. So those are given in cultural block. So you can explain or you can read the details about these things in the textbook. And if you require any further help, please ping below. Feel free to reach out for any questions or any clarifications you require. So with this, I'm concluding this video. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.